Afternoon and welcome to today's lesson. I'm Mrs. Celeste Swart and I'm going to go through reported speech with you. Now, this simply means that since this is for grade 9 level, I accept that you do have a certain amount of knowledge about it. So some of these things are going to be reminders and others will be things that you are aware of or you know very well. Now, remember, whether I quote a person's exact words, that would be direct speech, or whether I use reported speech, the message that I convey must remain the same. When we think of reported speech, we think of something like a witness in a trial. Front and say, he said that, she said that. And you won't be using the person's exact words unless you quote verbatim, but you will be conveying their message. Now we have two ways to report back. The one is immediate and the one is later. And a little bit further on in this lesson, I'm going to take a look at how we do this. What is the reason for doing an immediate report back and what is the reason for doing a later report back? So it could be to do with things like introductory verbs and of course the tense used by the speaker plays an enormously important role. And we're going to have a look at that just now. So let's have a look at the changes that take place when you do reported speech. There are lots of changes that take place. If we look at our punctuation, there will be no inverted called in quotation marks, can be single or double quotation marks or inverted commas, but there are no commas or at least inverted commas or quotation marks. There are no question marks or exclamation marks. Why? Because we use words to describe these. We do not put a question mark at the end of a question when it's reported speech because we are asking and we're using question words. Capital letters can become small letters unless it is a proper noun. Let's look at this example. Mother asked, and then I quote, John, are you coming home? And what happens when we write it in indirect speech? Mother asked John if he was coming home. And because John is a proper noun, it stays a proper noun. Our introductory word and that. The word that is inserted. It forms almost like a bridge between two pieces of ground. It links the introductory verb to the spoken word like a bridge. And we look at something like mother said that. So if we look at that example, we can see how this is going to work. You'll of course find when we use question words that we don't use that. We don't use this example or we don't use this linking word when we use a question word. And let's have a look at that now. Question words, you insert words if or whether after questions using question verbs. It could be whether it says asked or inquired or questioned. Look at the sentence here and you'll see here it's single quotation marks. Peter asked, can I eat my food? But if we write it in indirect speech, we say Peter asked if he could eat his food. Because if I'm speaking for myself and I say, can I eat my food? You are not going to say, Mrs. Swart asked if I can eat my food, because that is not what I said. By saying Mrs. Swart asked if she could eat her food, then you're going to make sure that you are conveying what I said exactly as I said it. So that is important to remember. We need to make sure we do that. Now, our question words that we use. If the first word of a question is a question word, then that would be your connecting word. Look at these. Who, what, when, where, why, how. When can I go to town? Asked Peter. Peter asked when he could go to town. So you see that it is the connecting word here. Oh, and we have links and we have connections here. So it's actually a very exciting. And just imagine someone must stand in court and testify on your behalf. Oh, you're in trouble, and your friend has to say exactly what happened, and he or she can recall exactly what you said, or they can do it in proper reported speech. Adverbs of place and time in the past tense also change. Yeah becomes there, this becomes that, now becomes then, yesterday becomes the previous day, and the day before yesterday would be 2 days ago. You can go and look all of these up and you'll find them. Tomorrow becomes the following day, and the day after tomorrow would be in 2 days' time. So that helps us to be able to change our adverbs of place and time, that we know exactly how to do it and to do it correctly. Let's look at the verb to be. The verb to be is, am, and are. In the present tense, I would say I am, he, she. He or she, sorry, is, it is, you are, we are, and they are. In past tense, I would say I was, he was, she was, it was, you were, we were, and they were. Now, why am I looking at this? It's very simple. It is something you're going to use. When you have the correct tense, you will then know which form to use of the verb. We have things as well called commands. If the same command, either of the following two ways may be used. The teacher ordered. You see, it's not just an ordinary word, it's a command. She ordered. Children, take out your tablets. The teacher ordered the children to take out their tablets. And please take note that if it's in the past tense, the tense used by the person is usually goes into the past even further. You'll see that just now when I show you the two different sort of ways for us to do this. Or the teacher could say the teacher ordered that the children should take out their tablets. Exclamations, these are exclamatory words such as ouch, hooray, wow, good heavens. We're not allowed to use those in reported speech. What do we have to do? We have to use emotions expressed in words. The children shouted, hooray, we've received our tablets. The children shouted with joy that they had received their tablets. So with joy tells us, they said, hooray. If I said, ouch, that was sore, she said in agony or in pain that it was sore, or it had been sore. Sorry, I'm doing an even later report back. So the tense word that we've used here, or that I've used here, goes a step further into the past. But exclamatory words, so that you know if you get something like that, that you can put it in reported speech, and that you can put it in reported speech properly. Okay, now let us continue. How do I know whether it is an immediate report back or a later report back? Immediate would be in present tense. Later would be in past tense. Now, the tense of the introductory verb gives it away. If, for instance, it says the man said or the man asked, so the clause containing the introductory verb will indicate whether the speaker is speaking in the past or if it has to be written in the present. Now, if it says said or asked, so if those words are conveyed or explained, if those words are in the past, then it means that the tense used by the speaker goes a step into the past. So if they're saying something in past tense, it will go further into the past. If they're saying something in the present tense, it will be changed to the past tense. And if they say something, if it was says or asks, then the tense of the speaker will remain the same. It will be unchanged. So in the immediate report back, we know that the introductory verb is going to tell you whether it's a present tense report back or a past tense. Remember what I said with the previous slide? Then you will know if it's a present tense report back the tense used by the speaker, that's now in the sentence that speaker says, will then stay in the same tense. If it's a later report back, it's going to go a step into the past. So yeah, I love to use this to show you how to do it because it's so much easier when you see it like this. Our immediate report back, it's words like says, asks, replies, inquires, exclaims. It's present tense verb. So the tense used by the speaker stays the same. So if it is, she says, I was tired. When you report back, you'll say, she says that she was tired. Because in the tense I spoke in or the speaker spoke in, even if it was in the past tense, it would stay in that tense. If the speaker speaks and uses what they say is in the present tense, it stays in the present tense. You'll see I have a very simple example to show you just now. Okay, so with a later report back or the past tense, your introductory verb tells you the secret. Said, asked, replied, inquired, exclaimed. And what's great about this is that we then know it's going to, the tense used by the speaker takes a step into the past. So even if they say something in the past tense already, it takes a step further into the past. And if you could see me now, you'd see me throwing my thumbs, that sounds very violent, over my shoulders, showing to the back and indicating backwards to show the tense used by the speaker will take a step into the past. And if it's already in the past, it's going to go further into the past. So let's look at this really simple sentence. Peter says, I am happy. Now look at all the changes we have here. This would be a present tense report back because it says, and then that means that the tense used by the speaker will remain the same. Peter says that he is happy. Obviously, it has to change. You can't say Peter says that I am happy because Peter says he's happy. I didn't say I'm happy. So that would then say Peter says that he is happy. And there we see immediate report back. The tense used by the speaker remains the same. Now, if it's Peter said, I am happy, it's a past tense report back, a later report back. That means that what the speaker says there, that will be in the past tense. In this case, it's in the present, but it's going to take a step into the past because the introductory verb is said. So it will then be Peter said that he was happy. And I think these sentences are very easy. So it'll help you to practice and make sure you get this right. But now what happens if Peter said, I was happy? Remember that sentence is already in the past tense, but you can't ignore that because it still has to take a step into the past because the introductory verb is in the past tense. So you can't say Peter said he was happy because that's not correct. It has to go, I was happy. That portion, that verb has to go a step further into the past. So what will happen here? It will be Peter said that he had been happy. You see, it's gone further into the past. And that is how simple it really is. There are some examples here, like where's the diamond? He demanded. He demanded to know where the diamond was. Now, when you get apostrophes, you can use an apostrophe word like didn't, or you can write it out in full. So please make sure that you do know what to do. Please feel free to use these slides when you want to practice and look at the different formats. Let's look at one or two. This one I love because it says, she asks, who's at the door? She asks or wants to know who is or who's at the door. And then you see no quotation marks, no question marks. Then this last one I'm going to look at quickly. Mrs. Perkins shouts, shut the door. Mrs. Perkins shouts, it doesn't say who she's shouting at, so you have to put someone in there. It could be more than one person because she just said, shut the door. Mrs. Perkins shouts that they should shut the door, or that he should shut the door, or that she should shut the door. Now, if you get something like that, make a decision, make a choice, decide whether it's they, he, or she, but do not put it in like I have here where it says they, he, she. make a choice, make a decision, and you will get this right. But if you don't practice, you won't get it right. This one as well, I didn't see anything suspicious last night, says the police constable. The police constable says that he did not see anything suspicious last night because, says is our introductory verb. And then I want to thank you so much for today. And I hope that you're going to go and practice this, because you need to remember, very importantly, practice makes perfect. So please make sure that you always practice everything. The more you practice, the better you will become. Thank you. Have a great day.